Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown. We are so pumped to have you all with us here today, joining us on our live version of Song Swap Showdown. So welcome wherever you're watching us, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. We're so happy that you can be here with us today as we take care of some more musical throwdowns right here as we do every single week. If this is your first time checking out Song Swap Showdown, well, how the show typically works is I'm Chris, that's Amanda, and we have a special guest here today, Dave. But how it typically works is Amanda and I each swap 3 songs with each other that we don't think the other has heard before, and then we rate those songs on a scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a hard pass, get out of here, skip it,
get out,
skip, all the way up to 5 records, which is Amanda's favorite part of the show. Heavenly music to our ears, 5 records. There it is.
It's so calming.
Going on the Eternity playlist. That's right. That is the song you can listen to over and over again and you'll never get sick of. That's a 5 record tune. That's
sure
a
is.
5 record tune. And we pick the songs based on a theme that is chosen by spinning the wheel of themes at the end of every single show. So if you always want to see what next week's theme is going to be, hang in there till the end of the show as we let the wheel determine. That's it. We spin it. Whatever it lands on, it lands on. Mm-hmm. It's chock full of themes. If you ever want a theme on the wheel, if you got a great idea, let us know. We'll stick it on there. Maybe in some time in the next 100 years, it'll get picked. I don't know. I make no promises. Unless your name is Tina and it just comes up.
That's right. She's got some magic going on the wheel.
She's got some magic going on. So we got a great show here today. If you guys haven't seen the name of the theme or the show or the title or all that, we got a good one today. Amanda, what are we doing today? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Last week that wheel spun and it chose songs from 1987. Not just the 80s, but 87. So this is where we're at. And we said, who better to dive into 87 with us than the one and only, the VIP of the VPs. No, the VP of the VIPs.
The VP of the VIPs.
And our show, Mr. Dave Mattingly. Here's so excited that you are here to join us. You are always so live in the comments every week, and we are so grateful for that. But to have you in person, this is a special treat.
This is a special treat.
Well, I am special in many ways. I don't qualify for the Olympics or special ed, but I'm a special mystery, yes. So like I said, I am a very special mystery.
And he is our live person in the comments still.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I just saw, someone's commenting. Oh, it's Dave.
It's
Dave.
Dave.
How meta.
I didn't even realize he's typing without me even being able to see.
Well, welcome to the live version of the show. It's so much better than the dead version.
I agree.
So Dave can still be witty in the comments, but also live here as well.
Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
We're looking at it as you did.
Yeah, Dave, we are pumped to have you here, and we're always having these great conversations with you because you are definitely someone we could bits music with for sure. I mean, your knowledge goes very, very deep, and I know that used to be on the air back in the day, right? That you used to have your own radio show, and you were
started in '85. Yeah, so I've been on the air a couple of years at this point.
Yeah, New Wave Dave, right?
New Wave Dave.
Yeah. I love it. And so, Dave, would you say that that's probably like your most favorite era of music is the new wave, or is that just sort of like
it's my heart is still there. It's not what I have the most of anymore. Over time, I realized my favorite instrument is the human voice. So I have a huge a cappella collection. At one point, it might have been like 3,000 CDs.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of CDs. I thought I had 3,000 CDs. I have like probably 3,000 CDs. I don't know, maybe more than that. I got tons of them. They're all in crates and totes and all that in my basement right now. But
yeah, 3,000. That's a lot of money.
That's almost as many Elvis CDs that Amanda has.
I mean, for being honest. That is amazing. And I also like the human voice. I like some music added to it, sprinkled in there. But yes, the human voice is something that's very powerful. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I look for a good a cappella tune to throw in this show as well. But all the ones that I really wanted to show came out in 86 or 88, so it didn't quite fit. So
Yeah.
just went with a new wave and a folk.
Love me some folk.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this day before we went on. I think we got a nice smattering, a very, very small sampling of 80s. So Amanda kind of has the token country tune with a surprise. I didn't expect that one, so we'll talk about that because it was not country.
Amanda for picking it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes.
I was surprised.
Me
Thanks,
too.
guys.
I was surprised too. Very, very well done. Dave hit us with some new wave and some kind of post punk stuff. We'll go into all his picks unless you've already seen the description and you know what picks they are. So I was like, you know what? Then I'm gonna go for like the hard rock metal stuff that was going on at the time because '87 was like anything else, like lots of great music, lots of people, exploring different sounds, doing all kinds of anywhere from hard rock to country was really big in the 80s for sure. And then, of course had her huge, and then Garth Brooks just like dominated the 90s when it came to country. But I would say too that was probably the rise of like that more mainstream pop country kind of sound.
I agree that the late 80s really introduced and opened the door for that 90s sound. I agree.
Yeah, and then you also
I listened to at that time was probably Steve Earle, but he was at least half rock,
Sure.
Yeah, he definitely had some more rockier elements and definitely rooted in that, but he kind of also too, Steve Earle was sort of like, I'd say even too, like that started like the alt country sort of genre, however you want to classify that, but definitely that where it's like, oh, this is country, but it's not fully country, but I can hear some rock, but yeah, because that then became like a whole like genre of its own with like a lot of great bands coming out.
Yeah, it's or country rock, or as we called it, off the air among ourselves, crock. We're playing a lot of crock next hour, aren't we?
Playing a lot of crock.
That's fantastic. I like it.
So before we dive into this, I did pull up a list of some. I'm not going to go through all these because I mean, obviously, it's be an endless list. But some of the records that like you go, well, what came out in '87, right? Because the songs, the records, but then you're always like, well, when exactly did it come out? So some records that came out in '87, some of these are big, iconic records.
Yes.
So. And this was probably the last Heart record that I actually kind of liked was Heart Bad Animals with, of course, Alone, which I love Alone. I think that's a great song. There's a lot of good songs on that record. That was like, I feel like to me, the last like solid Heart record. Of course, U2's Joshua Tree came out in 1987. Can you believe that? Like I kept, you always like, oh, Joshua Tree, great record. When did I know it is 80s, but like could not remember the exact date. 1987.
Yeah. I would have guessed 88 if I had to guess.
Yeah. I mean, and what a solid record. And that to me is probably like the last like U2 record that I actually really enjoyed front to back. I mean, the whole Zooropa stuff and Octune Baby, not bad, but Joshua Tree is sort of like the last of like that original U2 sound and them starting to like move into like, change their sound eventually what they would be like in the 90s, which is all that Octune Baby stuff. REM Document, another big record where sort of really put REM like on rock radio map, and got them ready for like their other record, Out of Time, which was like a huge hit for them.
I was really tempted to pick an REM as well.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh man, REM, like because I don't know how many REM songs Amanda's heard. I'm not sure how versed you are with REM.
Not well versed at all.
Shiny Happy People, Losing My Religion, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the
Stand in the Place Where You Live.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Me in the Corner. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen's Tunnel of Love. Now, is that Bruce Springsteen's? Because really, he hadn't done a solo record since Nebraska, right? Or am I wrong? I'm not being a guy from Jersey, I'm not like super versed in all the Bruce stuff, surprisingly. But I think that I remember that being a big deal when that came out. Like that, I think it was Bruce's first record in a long time without.
It was required for New Jersey citizenship. You had to know all of that.
We just pretend.
Oh,
I mean, listen, honestly though, if you just listen to the first like few Bruce records, you're okay. Like, all the first like 3 or 4 Bruce records, and those to me are the best.
Fair.
Yeah. Those are the best ones.
That's where Chris will say the same about Billy Joel. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Come on, 80s Billy Joel. A little cringy. So some real quick, some other records. NXS Kick came out, humongous record.
So much.
Man, you think about like, and I was looking at the track list on that. Every song, I feel like every song on that was a single. Like, what a huge record for them.
Yeah, it's such a good record that you can't pick a song that somebody hasn't heard.
That's right.
Everybody's heard every song on the album.
And I did look at that, and I said,
you've heard every
wow.
one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Amanda's probably heard every song on Kick. And you know NXS, right? You're an NXS.
Am I?
Oh no, maybe I. Well, I knew Dave would know it, but I mean, you're
I
always
don't
the one.
know.
You're always the one. I'm like, I don't know. Are you gonna know this? And also, I used to roller skate to this.
Well, we all know that
Ian,
I know.
or good evening, Ian. Glad to have you here.
Oh, Ian's here. All right.
You know, Ian, I never want to be like, you know how like when you are missed, you don't want to be missed, but you want to be missed.
Yeah.
There's like that balance of like, oh, I've missed him so much, and I'm like, but where is he? But I don't want to make him feel bad for being late. But I'm happy you're here, Ian.
Yeah.
But speaking of in excess, here comes Mr. Australia himself.
That's right.
Yeah. I know. Right on cue. You're right. Exactly. So real quick before some other quick records that came out, Pink Floyd's Momentary Lapse of Reason came out, Prince Sign of the Times, The Cure, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, great record there. Dinosaur Jr., You're Living All Over Me, George Harrison released Cloud 9, The Replacements, Pleased to Meet Me, Michael Jackson, Bad came out in 1987. Remember how big that was after Thriller? Huge. Of course, we were talking about it a little bit before. The Less Than Zero movie soundtrack came out, and that was like, we were talking about that being like sort of the kickoff of like having like a movie soundtrack actually basically be better than the film and more anticipated because you had a lot of well-known artists on there. Because I said I almost put Hazy Shade of Winter on my playlist this week, but I was like, I did something else. So.
And but that's I think it's also the name of a Fix song as well. And I did have a Fix song on my list, Red Skies at Night from '87, and eventually had to swap that out.
Yeah. Fix, great band that is always underappreciated. Def Leppard Hysteria came out in 1987. Huge comeback record for them after being absent for years after the huge juggernaut of Pyromania, and then Rick Allen getting into that car accident, losing his arm, and relearning how to play drums with one arm. So that was a huge comeback record for Def Leppard, and that story
is he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? He really needs to be.
I'm not sure if Def Leppard is. I mean, but he should just be. I mean,
I know
to freaking relearn how to play drums with one arm is insane.
That is impressive.
Insane. Of course, White Snakes 1987 came out, and then just on the hip hop side too, we were talking about this big records here: Pay It in Full, Eric B and Rakim, Yo, Bum Rush the Show with Public Enemy, LL Cool J, Bigger and Deffer, Rock the House, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. There's
I just love
Amanda's.
Oh, woo!
Yeah. NWA and the Posse, and Ice-T actually drops Rhyme Pays in 1987. So many huge records that came out then.
And let me just throw out some country ones from 1987 while we're talking. So just to represent that little country lane, because I nestled in one country song. Alabama came out with The Touch, Reba. What Am I Gonna Do About You? At George Strait's Oceanfront Property was huge.
Ooh.
The Judds, Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, the Judds.
Yes, Dwight Yoakam and Randy Travis and Hank Williams Jr., if I didn't already say him. These all of them have been featured on our show before. So it was a hot year for those artists.
It was definitely a big year. And I would say for me, 1987, I was probably, depending on where it was in the school year, I was either finishing 7th grade or I was beginning 8th grade.
So I was going to guess 6th or 7th. I couldn't remember exactly where you guys were. I had already started working for NASA in 87.
I just feel so little when you say that out loud.
Working for NASA.
But you should feel so young is how you should feel.
Did you get a cool jacket? Did they give you cool jackets for working at NASA?
You get cool
I have
swag.
a lot of mission patches.
You got some patches?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
You can whip them out. All
Here's
right,
my
hold
NASA
on,
patches.
everyone.
I mean, come on. Hey,
There are some mission patches. I happen to have one close in my desk drawer here.
You're just beyond cool. And we say this every single show.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
So for everybody listening, Dave is showing up holding up some NASA patches he got while his time working at NASA.
Yeah,
Wow, nice.
I worked in Florida. I was not on the Apollo 11 mission, believe it or not. I wasn't working for NASA in '69.
Wow.
Dave,
Very
you're
cool, Dave.
amazing and very cool. And those are really some very good looking patches.
Yeah, Ian's going, what songs did NASA do?
There's
I
probably
think
a
Bowie
few.
they hired Bowie to do Life on Mars.
Yeah.
And
Fly me to
Space
the moon.
Oddity.
What was that big song that was I Don't Want to Miss a Thing? Wasn't that in one of the space films?
Yeah, Aerosmith did the
Thank you.
Armageddon.
Oh, yeah, in Armageddon.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I don't want to miss
That was huge.
Yeah,
We'll pretend
huge.
that
I still
NASA
cannot understand how Steve Tyler is Liv Tyler's dad.
No, isn't that amazing?
He looks ridiculous, and somehow he had that girl. I don't.
Well, we don't know what he maybe would have looked like without all of the influences of things in his life,
true.
right? And she may just be a product of none of those influences.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, clean living.
Clean living, yes.
Clean living. So, all right, listen. Let's get into it. Let's give the people what they want, what they came here for, which is hearing us rate music. The only one qualified here to do is Dave, by the way. Because
I know. Yeah, he's the only one.
Yeah.
We just pretend we are.
Right. All right. So where are we starting? Who are we starting with? Who's kicking us off today? Which song are we starting with here?
You know what?
We go the way we are on the screen, Chris, and Amanda than me.
All right.
I like it. Simple enough.
All
Leave
right.
it to a NASA man to think of how simple that is.
All right. Very good. Very good. So, so if I'm going first, so you guys are doing my song first then.
Yes. Yeah.
Right,
Give us
so
your
which
first one of the week.
All right. So let's do my Dokken, Burning Like a Flame.
Rockin' with Dokken.
Amanda's favorite thing to say.
Love that. Every time I see it, I'm like, yes, I know what that means.
Yeah.
That's
Rockin'
so
with
cool.
Dokken. Coming off of 1987's Back from the Attack, which is a great record. Great record. This is a record that I remember when it came out. I was super excited. I was already into Dokken, and I had gotten this on cassette for Christmas that year. I was really pumped watching, of course, Dream Warriors is on this record, and this was Dokken's biggest best-selling record, most commercially successful record, definitely in the heyday of MTV, and really, because the Dream Warriors was on this one, that really helped it. And Burning Like a Flame was actually the first single on that record. That was the lead single that they went with. And I remember the music video on MTV and all that, which I'll bring that up in a little bit. But yeah. So you want me to play a little bit, or you guys want to talk about it first?
Let's play a little. Let's give the people what they want to hear.
Play a little Rockin' with
our
Dokken.
listeners. Give us a little Dokken to rock.
Yes. Give us a little taste.
Yes. And of course, as we go along, everybody, remember, we rate things on a scale of 1 to 5 records. So let us know what you think as we go along. What would you think of these songs on a scale of 1 to 5?
Time and time and again, I thought that you would be gone.
Oh, 1987.
I guess it's meant to be that your heart still belongs to me.
Yeah, I always remember just having like this little animation in here.
And this reminds me of the animation from the power station something like that. But that was more electricity fire.
Yeah.
Let's go open a chance to give the key to your heart. Used to say that I'm not sincere. I'm gonna
Don
do that
Dokken.
you're wrong. I'm never gonna leave your
All right, let's not get the screen shut down. That might be enough for now.
Yeah.
Should've realized before your love's worth waiting for. Don't you know that it's all love that's
Gang chorus.
burning like a flame? And you know that it's all love that's never gonna change. 'Cause every time I touch you, you just make me go insane. Don't you know that it's all love that's burning, all love burning like a flame?
All right. I know now I'm going to get yelled at because I get yelled at whenever he's like, you cut off the guitar solo.
But
What's
if we
wrong with you?
don't,
Yeah.
YouTube will cut us off.
Yeah, listen, once again, everybody, disclaimer, as we do the show live, YouTube will dump us. We'll get
Give us the
dumped
boot.
on our live feed. So that's why, first of all, we cut the songs off, and we have listened to the full songs over and over again. I know it keeps coming up. I keep seeing it come up in the comments. We do listen to these songs all the way through before we rate and review them. And when we come on here live, we just play a little bit so we don't get canceled.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's just a little bit there of Burning Like a Flame from Dokken off of Back for the Attack. All right,
Listen.
give it to me.
Listen.
Here we go.
I still look back and I think, okay, if you would have given me this song, in episode 1, season 1, I would have been like, yeah, it's too much. And now you see my reaction. I just just sway with it, bop my head a little bit. Like dare I say, I now rock with the doc.
Wow, you rock with the doc.
I shortened up. You can thank me later.
Dokken, just so you know, Amanda just coined a new phrase for you.
I did.
That one's free.
I rock with the
Hashtag
doc. You
rock
can
with
steal
the
it.
doc.
I mean, I like it. It's a fun love song.
Yeah, it's a typical like 80s, metal, hard rock metal band single. It's catchy chorus. The video's ridiculous. I mean, I'm watching this back and I'm like, oh my God, like these guys are firemen, the whole thing. And it's like the animation part's cool, but I'm like, definitely some of these concepts don't really hold up over time. So it looks a little
That's
ridiculous now. But
Well, I did kind of like the, oh my gosh, there's a hot chick alert. And they hop in the car and they all
Exactly.
go on. Who's made out of fire in this case,
and that part, yes, it's a hot chick alert. So, typical metal stuff.
Yeah.
But I really like, and the thing too, I always like Dokken a lot for me because I love George Lynch's guitar playing, and I love that he was like sort of like he didn't create it, but he definitely perfected that pick attack sound. It's hard to describe, but people who anybody who plays guitar, it's like the certain style playing, and it's like this pick attack, and he just really made that sound. He separated himself out from a lot of the other like dudes that could just shred. And to me, that was like his signature sound, like you could tell, oh, that's George Lynch playing, because at this time, I mean, honestly, like shredding guitar guys were like a dime a dozen. Every band had a guy who could shred and go nuts and solo and, so what was your signature sound? And like, he really developed like a signature sound that was a huge part of Dokken's, and that just kept going and going, especially this record is like, to me, it's their pinnacle of guitar. Yeah. So, Dave, what do you think?
I grew up on heavy metal, mostly 70s stuff. AC/DC, Van Halen, Zeppelin, Jethro Tull, a lot of others. And I say I burned out by the point the 80s stuff. So the video bumps it up for me because it is creative.
Fair.
Sadly, I'm going to give it a 2.9, a little under middle. I'm
You don't have to apologize here.
low rating from Amanda. I know.
Oh my goodness. I
All
didn't
right.
have 2.9 on my bingo card for this morning from Dave. I'm
No,
rocking with Dokken.
I'm never invited back. In fact, I'm sorry, my tradition is being cut right now. I don't know what's happening. Technical difficulties.
YouTube just dumped your feed.
All right.
Get booed off stage here now.
Yeah. All right. So 2.9 from
2.9.
Dave for
Okay.
Dokken. All right,
Wow.
Amanda.
Wow. Okay. And I just want to point out, he said that the video helped bump it up. So I don't really know what it would have been without the video included.
Yeah. However, Dave, I think you just gave an Amanda rating from back like season 1.
Yeah,
So-
I know.
Fair. And that's okay. But to your point, like you kind of got
Yeah.
docked out, like meddled out.
The Dokkened out.
Dockened out. All right. I'm going to give it like a 3.3.
Okay, 3.3.
So a little bit, above average, but nothing. I'm not going to skip it. I'm not going to necessarily turn it on, but I can bop to it a little. It's all
You
right.
can bop. It's a ditty.
It's a ditty. It's a ditty.
It's a ditty.
So not bad.
All right. So
Woo.
2.9 from Dave and a 3.3 from Amanda
Okay.
on your ratings for
All
Dokken
right.
Burning Like a Flame. Do you guys agree? Let us know.
This one
Let
might
us
be
know.
controversial.
Could be.
I think my songs are going to get a 1.0 from Chris from here on.
We shall see. Hang in there,
We
folks.
shall see. So, all right.
All right. So my
Amanda.
first song to Chris and Dave was Dear Boopsie by Pam Hall. Dear Boopsie.
Oh, Ian is there with me.
Ooh, Ian coming at 2.8. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay. I'm assuming that's for the docket and not
Yeah,
my
that's
Dear
for
Boopsie.
Doc and not for Dear Boopsie. Because we asked, and so it's probably a
Yeah, we
delay,
haven't
but
listened to Boopsie yet. As of
Yeah,
yet.
we haven't even listened to
You know,
Boopsie yet.
before
Unless,
you guys-
unless he cheated and listened already.
So remember, everyone tuning in, this show is we hopefully share songs that the others haven't really heard before. So
Yeah.
there are some slam dunks that could have been on our list, but we deep dive past them a little bit more to find some ones that we can throw each other's ways. So I
That's
did
right.
that with Dear Boopsie. So I think it would probably be best that we play a little bit of Dear
Sure.
Boopsie by Pam Hall and give everyone a little taste. And so
Yep.
that way they can understand what we're talking about. Because
Your
I'm
Boopsie
going
was
to guess,
a surprise. You knocked me over with this one. I
I'm
did not
so
expect
glad.
anything from Amanda.
I was not expecting this.
It was the warm weather.
Yeah.
Dear Boopsie, long time no see. Wish you were here, right here with me. Boopsie, baby, I hope you're fine. I just had to write you these few lines.
Yeah.
Remember all the fun we had. Now we're apart. I feel so sad. I'm so frustrated and confused. And my baby needs a new pair of shoes.
That's right. New pair of
I
shoes.
need a little cash cause the baby have a rush. I need every dollar cause the baby just a holler. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Since you've been gone, I've forgotten the taste of wine.
All right. Once again,
And
see, we're getting into the groove, and I just want to sit here and play the whole thing.
I know. Dear Boopsie.
Dear
Pam.
Boopsie.
Pam, you got a good one there.
Yeah. So, Amanda, how did you discover this song?
So
What's the history?
there's not much history except it's been 80s the last couple of days, and I was trying to find some songs for this show, and
All right.
I said, you know what, I'm gonna Google machine reggae
Okay.
songs that were released in 1987, and this was on the list. And so I was diving through them. I was like, "Ooh, this one sounds so good," and I instantly connected it.
Mhm.
At first, I was like, "I think this is like maybe a love, like she's like writing a man,"
Yeah.
and then it actually is. She's like writing a girlfriend that, like, hey, you know, times are a little hard. I miss our times together, and it's just really fun. So I love the name. It just was such an attention getter, and I just had a lot of fun listening to it.
Yeah, it definitely had some great vibes to it. And that's why I was
Mhm.
wondering, like, because I was like, all right, because every now and then you surprise me and you're like, oh, this is a song that like I used to listen to, or you know,
Yeah.
my sister played for me.
Sure.
Like I got into Pam Hall or what or this song. But
Yeah.
for anybody who doesn't know who Pam Hall is, by the way, very long career here Pam Hall has had. She recorded as a solo artist from the mid 70s and on, as well as providing backing vocals for several artists such as Jimmy Cliff, Judy Mowat, Beres Harmon, Dennis Brown, and Peter Tosh, and sometimes along with her sister Audrey. And so this was a song that was released in 87 and it topped the reggae charts, reaching number 4 on the UK singles chart. And this came off of her very first record, which was released in 1987. And then she further had hits in the 90s and all that. So, and she's still, as far as I know, still
Long-standing
singing
career,
and putting
yeah.
out music. So, definitely very, very cool stuff. And this is funny too, because I was just listening this week. There's a new band that released a single called I think it's called the Calamitex or something, but it's on Tim Timebomb's label, Hellcat Records, and it's called Root Style, and it's all very like dance hall and very, very cool stuff. And I've been listening to it nonstop. And then when you sent this over, I was like, oh my gosh, like what the vibe keeps going, because this has definitely got all the right feels and that like 80s like dance hall style vibe that I dig. So I like this one, Amanda. It's a very good pick. So I'm going to let Dave weigh in before I share my rating.
Yes.
Right. And like I said, this was a surprise. I was not anticipating reggae from that girl. For island music, I generally prefer calypso or ska. I can appreciate reggae, but I gravitate more towards those too. But this is a very good song, and I am going to give it a 4.0.
Ooh.
Wow, 4.0 from Dave. Very
I know,
good,
I know.
Dave. That's a very good rating.
I'm surprising myself with that one, but the fact that it came from Amanda probably gave it a couple of extra points there, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take it. Whatever it takes.
Well, it's funny too, because Dave, a lot of behind the scenes is Amanda and I are always, we share music with each other that doesn't even make it out, just because we're like, oh, I think you would like this. Like we just share stuff with each other all week long. And so I've been finding like a lot of like cool like ska reggae stuff and sending it Amanda's way and be like, oh, I think you might like this. Check this out. So you know, I converse with Amanda a bit on some of the ska reggae calypso kind of stuff. So which has been really nice. So I like this song as well. Especially like I said, I've been kind of into vibe and grooving a lot to it, especially this weekend was crazy. So I've been listening to a lot of just like reggae and island music and stuff like that. So I'm liking your rating, Dave, and I'm feeling like right there too. When I first heard the song, I was maybe at like a 3.8, but I've been listening to it a lot. It's definitely become an earworm. So I agree with you. I would also give it a 4.0 as well. So 4 records for me.
That is so exciting. And I want to be very clear. In 87, I didn't even know reggae was a type of music. My parents did not listen to it. You know, Southeastern Michigan, there was just not a lot of this type of sound.
Yeah.
And I think Bob Marley was the first person who even kind of gave me a hint of what there was out there. And that was through Marcus. So my taste for this has significantly like just shut up since I would say, and even the last like 3 years. So I'm digging Dear Boopsie by Pam.
Dear Boopsie. All right.
Thanks for the good rating, guys. Thanks.
You have got a great pick. Very good pick. Well
Thanks
done.
so much.
Well done. All right. On to our guest, Dave Mattingly, with his first pick, which is...
Bring it up. The first one is Men Without Hats. Where do the boys go?
The president of the Men Without Hats fan club here.
God, yeah.
I founded it. I'm not currently the president. I founded the fan club back in the 80s. Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, I want to be very clear. So, for our audience, you truly founded it. Like, I don't. Sometimes
I co-founded. Yes.
You co-founded this. This is just so. Yeah, we have a legend on the show today. I believe basically everything you say. But sometimes I don't like something like this. I was like, did he really? And you surely did.
So,
I love it.
So, Dave, when did you get into Men Without Hats? Like, is it when you were on the air, or was it before that?
Well, Safety Dance was 83, and that's changed my world. Got their EP that came out before that, called Freeways. Got the Rhythm of Youth that had the Safety Dance on it. Folk of the 80s came out in between Rhythm of Youth and 87. This one was on the Pop Goes the World album. You may have seen the Pop Goes the World song or seen the video.
Yes.
A Weird Al joke that they had a baby in a crib and a synthesizer in front of them, and somebody was playing the piano. Said the baby with the biggest hands in the world. And there was a follow-up called Moonbeam that was there. But after a few listens, the album was, oh my gosh, this is a rock opera. The entire album is telling the same story. That blew me away as well. But Where Do the Boys Go, besides being a fun, catchy tune, is kind of autobiographical. Okay, we had a big hit. What do we do now? We're the boys without hats. What do we do? And where do we go? So it had a lot of meanings. And the really strange video of running down the giant red ball and the snowman watching it all. It's amusing and disconcerting, I guess.
Yeah, I was looking for the music video. The only thing I kept coming up was sort of just like this like lyric video. Well, it's not even a lyric video. It's just their logo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but
It's interesting because anytime they are so known for the safety dance.
Yeah.
That even when I'm trying to find anything on like Where Are the Boys, like so much is flooded like through the search. It's always associated with the safety dance. So like I feel like that's very very interesting. And is this song?
Oh, now here it is. Oh,
Can you find
now
it?
it came up.
Okay.
I don't know why this was so hard. It kept coming up, and now it's actually now I found. All right, so let's throw this on.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm all about it too. That's why I was telling Dave, like Safety Dance is the one song, but I used to have another friend who was big into Men Without Hats, and I do remember this song, but I never really like listened to it. It's always like, hey, listen to here's Men Without Hats stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. So this is the music video.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
This is so 80s. It's fantastic. Canadian 80s too. Friends from up north.
Yeah. The sound is signature 80s for sure.
What's great about music videos like this too is it's literally most of the stuff was shot by just like TV cameramen because
we walked around in circles singing. Oh, I said we'd walk around for practically forever singing.
it's like this Thunderdome background.
I said our heads were filled with things that didn't matter anyway. We're singing. Oh, I said we'd walk around for practically forever singing. Oh, I said.
So catchy.
It very is. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm posting this
Roving
video on
gangs of
Facebook,
snowmen
guys.
causing mischief.
We walked around in circles singing. Oh,
Whoa.
I love that part.
for practically forever singing. Oh, I said our heads were filled with things that didn't matter anyway.
All right.
We're
So before we
singing.
get dumped,
Yeah.
but I am posting this video in our Facebook group. I mean, you guys can go look at it for yourselves.
It's so much fun.
But
And
join the
I find it
Facebook group.
amusing. You mentioned In Excess Kick.
Yeah.
I found it amusing that they did the same kind of flipbook photo animation sort of.
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
They did, but they did that here first, and then which one is it? What You Need, I think is.
Yeah, I
In
think it was
Excess-
What You Need. It was
Yeah.
like, all that flip book, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was a super innovative video from back then because it's like kind of they took this and like perfected it and all that. But I
Giant snowman, a weird giant red ball. You're running around, and
yeah, so perfectly 80s, man. So
Yeah.
right, I mean, and honestly too, like this was the time when so many of these videos could have been, like literally, like I was saying, like a lot of the times they were shot by like just a TV cameraman. Like there wasn't.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, and we were moving into the age where like there was a music video director and all these concepts
Sure.
and stuff like that, but it was still kind of like this. I mean, 87 was right on the cusp of it where people were starting to take more advantage of the medium. But if you didn't have a lot, it was literally like, hey, this guy's got a camera. Let's just film something, which is kind of the way it is now because MTV doesn't show videos anymore. So bands just go and shoot videos and put them up.
Sure.
But like, it's very YouTube before YouTube, basically.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I don't.
So-
It's got a really fun beat to it. Like you can't help but bopping and beating and video aside. Video aside, the video is a little silly.
Oh, it's a lot.
But-
It's a lot silly, but it's great.
But so much of the 80s was silly, like when you like visually, right?
Yeah.
I had read that this is possibly about like Peter Pan, like the Lost Boys,
Like,
like that.
Neverland kind of.
Yeah. Is
thing.
there any truth to that? Like it would, because I'm just reading
Not
like
I've ever heard.
okay, I read like the the comments that people
Yeah.
leave under YouTube videos and like some of these forums, and I thought that was a very interesting little take. So I was like, I'm gonna ask Dave. So you maybe debunked it, but that's okay.
Well,
I
art
like
is
it.
always in the eye of the consumer. So
Fair.
if it means something to you, then it means that thing.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like so that's fair. I like it, Chris. Like, what do you think?
So I liked it too, and it definitely brought back some memories of my buddy who was a huge Men Without Hats fan, and I do remember hearing this song. Just like I said, never really paid it much attention, never paid
Didn't
any
much
mind
mind.
to it. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad Davey gave us the song, because it definitely got me to sit down and listen to it and like, oh, this is a really solid tune. It's super catchy. I feel very comfortable giving this song a 3.8 records. I feel very
Ooh.
comfortable with that. I think it's a good tune. And I'm gonna try to dive into some
3.8.
more Men Without
Okay.
Hats stuff there.
And
I like that.
That's not your wheelhouse. I understand. So I greatly appreciate
It
that.
it is and it isn't. You know, it's like one of those things where I feel like it's definitely. I love a lot of like 80s, especially new wave, synth wave kind of stuff, or dark wave. So I get into it. I just have to be in the mood. But I like the song. I mean, I think, you know, I may rise up more as I listen to it more and jam with it. But I think 3.8, right? So it's very close to a 4 for me.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really good. I'm going to go just slightly under and do probably like a 3.6. I think it's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. The video is silly, as I've already said, but 3.6 is still above average.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really not bad. Yeah. And you know what's really funny? If I didn't throw in my second song, which was very country, let's be real, I really, when I was listening to this, I couldn't help but think that our little playlist would be like a perfect playlist for like the next season of Stranger Things.
Yeah. Might be.
So Netflix, if you need some
Hello,
suggestions,
producers.
feel free to use
There
our
you go.
list.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right,
Yeah,
everybody.
But yeah, we got everybody else. Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick 60-second break, and we will be right back.
Welcome to the greatest night out with your bestie your ears will ever have. I'm Amanda Yoa, your host and hype woman of Staying Inspired, showing out every week with that she said what energy to give you a dose of humor, inspo, entertainment, and even at times a keeping it real kick in the butt, so you can stand out in a world where we're encouraged to just fit in. This is where inspo air humps humor and visions and dreams become real life. He didn't even come up to me himself. And I remember one time I was like, I'll dance with you. So then we danced. I remember I'm like, what? Yeah, save room for the Holy Spirit. So I go, I'm like, getting my feet done today. So I sit down and I am just in fear of what is going to be under this polish. Police in Mexico are strapped, right? He's like, we need to get out of the car. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to Mexico jail. So what are you waiting for? Check out Staying Inspired, available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and other listening platforms.
All right. That's right, everybody. Welcome back. Check out Amanda Yoa's show. Check out Staying Inspired. Great show. Amanda Yoa, awesome host. Anywhere you get podcasts. And also, if you like what we're doing here on the channel and you want more of it and you want to support us, feel free to support us over at our Patreon account. That's right. Patreon. Dave Mattingly, the VP of the VIPs, also on our Patreon account. We've been posting all kinds of great stuff in there. Amanda and I do have a long list of videos that we're going to be creating. I just posted some new music reviews in there. Make sure you use the link in the notes below to sign up for a Patreon account. You can join for as low as $1, for as little as $1, but of course there's other great things that you can take advantage of in there, and you can join free for 7 days and give it a test drive. So yeah, I just posted some music reviews in there, and I'm working on another top 10 list coming very soon. Man, and I are, Amanda's got a top 10 list. So we're going to be posting a lot more things in there. We try to be very, very active in there each and every week. So please join if you want to show your support for the show. Want to thank our official Patreon members, Mark Ronick, of course, Dave Mattingly, who's sitting right here with us, Ian from Australia, and Johnny Beyond in the back of the Cereal Box gang. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Thank you so much for all of your support. So be cool, do what all the cool kids are doing, and join our Patreon account. All right, moving into our second round of songs.
Yep.
Here we go. Kicking it off with my pick. Of course, one of the biggest records to come out in 1987. Initially, took a year for this record to really catch fire, too, which is Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. The song I have submitted for judging is It's So Easy. And Amanda's definitely familiar with me putting Guns N' Roses songs on the show. But I have this record is very near and dear to me. First of all, and you could Google this, but I personally think, and many people agree, that this record from top to bottom is a perfect rock record. They always say you have your whole life to write your first record. Well, Guns N' Roses definitely their best material is on this first record, front to back. Great production, great songwriting. Really came out at a time too where like you heard the Dokken song, right? Burning Like a Flame, very poppy, very up. Guns N' Roses brought back sort of that dangerous feel to like rock and roll, like really mixed like the LA glam sleaze with like, and infused it with punk, and really wore their influences on their sleeve for this record. I mean, you know, combining like things like Aerosmith and the Sex Pistols and the New York Dolls, and mixed in with like even, you know, they were into like Montrose and just all the classic stuff. Thin Lizzy, big Thin Lizzy fans. And so you can hear so much of this on this record. And I literally wore this cassette out to the point of it literally like disintegrated. Like all the writing was worn off on it. It had like cracks in it because it literally was in my my Walkman all the time. And I used to work at an A&P, so I would push carts. Like I was a cart pusher, you know, stocking shelves and stuff. And I couldn't wait to go push carts because I'd boop, headphones on, Appetite for Destruction. Like that was the regiment for a very long time. So I love this record. No matter what ratings you give it, it won't change my mind.
Yeah.
But I have submitted It's So Easy to all of you.
Play a little bit of It's So Easy, and then we will.
Can't wait. So this is they never had an official video for this, by the way. This was something that they put together when they did the re-release of Appetite for their anniversary of this record, and they did a whole remastered. So they wound up putting it together from like a lot of live footage from back in the day when they were a club band. So this isn't the official. I guess I don't know. It might be an official video.
See.
Love old Axl with the spiky hair.
I see your sister in a Sunday dress.
The best. Song number 2 on this record, by the way. Right after Appetite for Destruction.
It's so easy when everybody's trying to please me, baby. It's so easy when everybody's trying to please me. Cars are crashing every night. I drink and drive, everything's in sight. I make the fire, but I miss the firefight. I hit the bullseye every night. It's so easy when everybody's trying to please me, baby. Yeah, it's so easy when everybody's
So great.
trying to please me.
Why don't you have? Okay.
All right, before I get dumped, because we got Friesen at a good frame. No, there we go. Little
Is
actual.
it really a good frame?
There you go.
Oh my
That's a good
God.
frame. There you go. All right. So
Okay. So here we
It's
are.
So Easy. Guns N' Roses, go.
It's so easy. Like I. It just sounds like they're like, I just woke up and I'm gonna have a pre-vocal fry that's popular in the 2020s. It's so easy. Like I just.
Ripping on Axl. Wow.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize, Amanda Sharp.
I'm
You can
sorry,
apologize
but-
to all the Guns N' Roses fans.
If what I read about this song and how it was written is true, which is basically it's a song about it's so easy, but it's so hard, where it was really easy because they found fame. The girls were easy to get. There were things that were easy in life, but they still hadn't seen the money from their success yet.
Yeah.
So like even like paying for the simple things was still a struggle. And so I could really appreciate the meaning behind the song more than the song itself. Those are my thoughts.
Those are your thoughts, and you're
Those are my
keeping the rest to yourself.
And do we have a number, Amanda?
I'm gonna.
Oh,
I love Chris, and I
Go
love
ahead.
his love for Guns N' Roses. So I'm just gonna put this one at 3.0, which is just average.
say what you're gonna say. Be
Say
honest.
what you're gonna say. I'll do it. I'm not gonna skip it. Like I'm not gonna skip it, but I'm certainly not putting it on.
Okay.
Raiders gonna rate. What are you gonna do?
All
What are
right.
you gonna do?
Three records for It's So
Three
Easy
records.
from that girl.
When I first heard Guns N' Roses, and then this is, like you said, an amazing album. Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, Sweet Child of Mine, some huge chart toppers. Everybody has heard, and I can't say everybody loves, but I certainly do.
Yeah.
And then after, they followed with Patience, which was kind of against type, which was also fantastic. I love that.
I love that. Yeah. I love that they did that.
Yeah, heavy metal with whistling. Who would have guessed, right?
Amanda's favorite
I
thing.
love a good whistle.
But yeah, when I first heard Guns N' Roses, wow, somebody who is trying to honor the kind of metal that I grew up with from the 70s. That they clearly, grew up loving Zeppelin and Jethro Tull and a lot of the others. And instead of just trying to do the glam hair metal thing, they decided to just rock and then give us what we loved from before.
Right.
I've always been a Guns N' Roses fan. This isn't my particular favorite track from them, but it is good. I'm going to give this a 4.1, the best rating.
Wow, 4.1
Wow.
from Dave. Thank you, Dave. Well,
I'm liking that. Very good. I'm liking that for you, Chris.
Thank you. I like it for me too. Yeah, I had bought this. I remember too, and this was back in the day, and they still do this. I mean, they still put out records in 7-inches. I'm a big 7-inch guy, but back in the day, like in this era, like, the 7-inch record had really gone away for the most part, unless you were like in punk and hardcore, honestly, like, and the labels were still every now and then they would do like a cassette single. And if you could find it, they would also do a record, single on a record as well, like a 45. And in Sam Goody, they actually still would sell them. And so the Sam Goody in the Willowbrook Mall, because I was at that point, like I was in, like I said, 7th grade, 8th grade in there. So no car or anything, but I could take the bus to the mall. My parents allowed me to I was able to get on the bus and go to the mall. And that's what I would do. I would go to the bus, go to the mall, go to arcade, play arcade games at Fun and Games, and then go to Sam Goody in the poster store, which had all the rock posters and T-shirts and all that. And that would be my trifecta, and I would pick things up. And they had Sweet Child O' Mine on 45 at the time, and the B-side was It's So Easy, but a live version. And I thought that was so cool that it was a live version of It's So Easy. I was like, this is great, because it was so much more raw, and it just sounded like it was recorded on like an iPhone.
I love that.
I loved it. So anyway, that's my little Guns N' Roses 45 story.
I like it.
On
It's
the
a good
B-side,
story.
so.
It's a good story.
All right, Amanda, moving into your next song.
And I really feel like I ruined the list with this country song, because it's hard country, but it's Love Me Like You Used To by Tanya Tucker.
Tanya Tucker. So, all right, what's your history with this song? Any history?
I've always really, really enjoyed it. I listened to it since really its release. My dad listened to this kind of country if he was working in the garage, and so it was just always playing. Johnny Cash did a version of this song, which most of the time I will prefer Johnny Cash's versions, as we know, over others. But I would say if you compare the two, she puts the life into this song like there needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
His version just isn't as...
It's Johnny Cash.
Yeah. I feel like he does such a good job singing those like deep, darker songs. And this is not really deep or dark. It's just kind of a love song. So I just really like this song a lot. And it fell into the bracket that it was released in 1987.
It did. And I got to tell you that's kind of the era that like when I think of Tanya Tucker's name a lot, that's kind of where I associate a lot of her songs. I mean, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but
I agree. Yeah.
But I always think of Tanya Tucker being more of an 80s, like,
a 1,000,000%. Yeah.
So
I agree.
All right, let's listen to a little bit of this. Love Me Like You Used To by Tanya Tucker. Oh, here it is. I'm like, is it playing? Is it not playing? There it is. It's like total 80s. Almost sounds like the beginning of like Living on a Prayer for a little bit there.
In a cozy little restaurant for lovers, it seems so out of place for you and me. We used to play around under the covers, but now it's just a place to watch TV. So love me like you used to, when our love was brand new. And darling, when we're through, you can love me again.
I love that.
And hold me like you want to,
Yeah, definitely hard country. No, but I mean, it's not as honky tonk though.
It's
you know
just
what I'm
a
saying? Like,
country love song.
yeah, like it's a sweet song. I mean, it's not offensive. No, I'm just it's no, I like it. It's not bad at all. I mean, is it something I'm gonna choose to put on? Probably not.
Sure.
Would I skip it if it comes on? Also, probably not. I think it's just a sweet little ditty. Definitely a very Amanda song for sure.
Mhm.
I do want to listen to the Johnny Cash version, so I just want to hear the difference.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure
Yeah.
I could definitely already kind of hear what the Johnny Cash version is going to be like and what Johnny Cash does and all that.
Mhm.
But I think Tanya Tucker definitely does her thing. It definitely sounds of the time for sure. It's definitely very 80s. I almost feel like too that this could have been something that like you could even hear like Taylor Swift kind of like doing now.
1,000,000%.
Doing like an updated version of it, of like the lyrics are very like Taylor Swift-esque kind of stuff, and
Very relevant to today. Like the lyrics over time, I don't think the message changes.
I don't think so either. I could definitely see her doing it. So before I give my rating, Dave, what are your thoughts on it?
All right. Country is not my big thing, as you know.
For sure.
And Tanya Tucker, we got a girl singing twangy country with accents. And so some hits against it before I even played it. But I was really stricken by the line that was the last one we just had. Hold me like you want to instead of like you have to.
Have to.
Love me
Mhm.
like you used to when you used to love me. I am a sucker for a good love song.
It's a very good line.
Mhm.
So this is a higher rating than I thought I would before I listened to it. It's getting a 3.7 from me.
Wow.
3.7.
3.7. Thank you, Dave.
Wow.
Unexpected for sure. I love
Very
it.
good. Yeah.
More for the lyrics than for the delivery.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I would say I agree with you, Dave, on the lyrics side. The lyrics were very were really good, and that line was a good one. So good point bringing that one up. I'm gonna do just a little bit under this because, like I said, it's not a skippable song for me.
Mhm.
Although I'm not gonna choose to put it on,
Mhm.
so that gives it something, and I do think it's a cool little sweet song. So I'm gonna give it a 3.4.
Nice. Thank you for that. That's higher than I expected. And I just want to mention, like, you guys were very romantic in the, verses that really struck a chord with you guys. Where the one that I really like is the one about we used to play under the sheets and now we just watch TV under the covers because that's just where I am in life.
That's just what happens.
We eat like Cheez-Its and some pizza in bed. It's just part of our routine.
Sounds like my life.
I make a really good sourdough pizza and crackers.
Yeah, we know.
Right.
If you follow Amanda on TikTok, you'll see the sourdough adventures.
That is an every night snack for us. So if you guys ever are in the area and you need a place to stay, I'll make you some pizza and some crackers.
If you need some sourdough,
All right.
You want everything you needed know about sourdough. Amanda's got you covered.
I'm your girl. I black market it out of the store.
She does.
Need some starter?
Some sourdough? Meet me out back.
Contraband sourdough.
Yeah, exactly. Contraband sourdough. All right. Well, very good. Okay, so on to our last song.
The last song.
Our last song of today
is from Billy Bragg.
Yeah.
English rocker, protester, folk singer. The song is called Greetings to the New Brunette. He did later re-record this maybe 10 years ago or so and renamed it as Shirley, which is just as good a title for it. That's the name he sees
really
it on. And a lot of people probably thought it was called Shirley,
right.
But it is called Greetings to the New Brunette. And it is, like the last one, it is a love song.
It is. It is. You know what I found really interesting? And I know we should play a clip first, but the Shirley, because of his accent, which we know Amanda's a sucker for accents. I wasn't sure if he was saying like Shirley, like the name, or
Shirley, yes. Don't call me Shirley, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which both work.
Yeah, they both work, yes.
Yeah. And so Spotify had it down as the name though. And I was like, is that just because they don't know? Like how to it hits his accent, so I noticed that right away.
Okay. No, it is the name Shirley. Yeah.
Got it.
All right, so let's check out
Play
a little bit of Billy Bragg.
Greetings to the new Brunette / Shirley.
deciding to be sleeping here in this room.
I love this video, by the way.
Shirley, you're my reason to get out of bed
happened?
before noon. Shirley, you know when we sat out on the fire escape talking. Shirley, what did you say
Shirley
about
MacLaine.
running before we were walking? Sometimes when we're as close as this, it's like we're in a dream. How can you lie there and think of England when you don't even know who's in the team? Shirley, sexual politics has left me all of a muddle. Shirley, we're joined in the ideological cuddle. I'm celebrating my...
This is another song that, like, I feel bad, like, not listening to all the way
Yeah.
through on here.
The video's
but-
cute.
the
I didn't
video's
see the
cute,
video.
Yeah, it's like all this, like, stock footage kind of stuff and newsreel stuff mixed in with this, like, Billy Bragg, like, walking around with a guitar and stuff.
Lots of smooching.
Yeah.
The lyric that you faded out on is my favorite from the song. I don't have a tattoo and I don't drink, but I'm celebrating my love for you with a pint of beer and a new tattoo. I think it's a beautiful declaration.
I
That is a
agree.
great declaration.
I really agree. Reading the the comments from the
Thank you, Ian.
fans.
Yeah, Ian, love Billy Bragg. You just snuck up and won the show, Dave.
Hey. The fan commentary in the comments of these like forums and videos
Yeah.
are really, really cool. They really like this song and they dive into it and they wonder, to your point when you noted Shirley MacLaine is in there, or MacLaine. Did I say it? Her name, whatever her last name is. That
Yeah.
is that song about her, but it's really not.
Yeah.
But I really, this was my favorite of the two that you sent me, Dave. I really, really enjoyed this one. The accent that he has, it's a really fun song for me.
Yeah.
Very-
Yeah, and just speaking to the comments, Amanda, like, yeah, you read through the comments and it's really nice. Like this one, man, I was 19 when this masterpiece came out,
Mhm.
54 now, still love this. Reminds me of a long lost love I had. Best line, I'm more impressionable when my cement is wet. It is great. Yeah,
and if you
Hater is,
haven't noticed yet, I'm more impressionable. My cement is wet. Yeah.
yep. And here
Another
it is.
great-
Celebrating my love for you with a pint of beer and a new tattoo. Youth defined. And what's also notable on this track, too, is that you got Johnny Marr from the Smiths on here and Christy McNichol. Christy McCall. She was
McCall, I think.
McCall. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, McCall. Yes. Also who sings on this track, which we ain't hearing that part. If you listen to the track all the way through, you'll hear it. So I highly recommend, first of all, going back, listen to all these songs on our Spotify playlist. They're all there, or whatever music service you use. Go find these out or watch them on YouTube, because all these songs I think are great. And this one was definitely my favorite of your songs as well, Dave. I really like this one. And having heard some Billy Bragg in the past, but not like really deep diving into his catalog, I really, really want to go listen to some more Billy Bragg now, because yeah, I agree. The lyrics are so good. He's such a good wordsmith, man. Really
He's
well
thought about
done.
it.
Yeah, and catchy. Song's catchy.
Yeah.
And it's not loud. There's not a lot going on, but it's just enough to do
Agreed.
it. Yeah, and Ian, the British Paul Kelly. There you go. All right, so where do I rate this song?
And actually, the
Let's see if I can find
album kind of ties in what you were talking about with It's So Easy. It's called Talking with the Taxman About Poetry.
Yes, I saw that was the name of the record.
How do you have, art and beauty and turn it to money? Things like that. How do you make a living from entertaining?
Sure.
Yeah, and what I liked about Billy Bragg, too, one word before I give my rating, is that I do like that his sound does have that very almost like this is what any like old ex-punker would like move into, move into like this kind of, and that's why I was like, oh, it's kind of sounds very post-punk to me, like it's got, because it's got the energy of that.
This could have been released in the 60s,
100%.
Very much.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So where am I rating this one? I really, really like the song, Dave. I thought it was cool. I am going to give it squarely a 4.3 records.
Ooh. Nice. And this was my favorite of the list.
Mhm.
With the exception of, I might like Dear Boopsie a little bit more,
Mhm.
but This one was really.
That did come out of nowhere. That was a surprise for me.
It was the
I'm
dark
surprised
horse.
myself. If
It was
I'm
the
being
dark
honest.
horse.
I'm giving it a 4.5. I really like it.
Wow.
It's just like a fun
4.5.
little beat. Like I could have it on really anywhere, any place.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
a sweet
think
song.
the majority of people would go, what is this? I really like it.
Yeah.
And so for
It
that,
is beautiful.
4.5.
4.5 records. Well done, everybody. Great picks today, even though I think I scored
So
the lowest.
it's in the eternity waiting room. It's not quite there, but
Yeah.
it's a good one. Yeah.
It is in the eternity way. I think that is definitely the
right.
highest rated
Yeah.
song.
Of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
What a 4.3 and
Uh,
4.5.
Another line that I really love is the last line in the song, using the metaphor of spring, summer, fall of our ages. Here we are in our summer years, living on ice cream and chocolate kisses. Would the leaves fall off the trees? Would it be fall? If I was your old man and you was my missus.
That's romantic.
Yeah.
That is romantic. Amanda's gonna cry.
So romantic.
All
Well,
right.
Dave, you are the winner of this week. I'm not surprised.
Wow.
You came in at 16.1. I came in at 15.1. And Dave, it's okay, but Chris came in at 13.3.
Mhm. It's all right.
We love you, Chris. Normally I am with the hard rock guy. I just picked ones that weren't really my particulars this time around.
It's all right. It's okay. I tried to pick, like I said, I tried to balance it out a little bit. And this is the stuff back in the 87, this was what I was listening to. And it wouldn't be until like another year that I start getting into the heavier stuff. That's like when Metallica really came into my radar, and
Sure.
Slayer, and I really started getting into like some serious thrash metal stuff. So
Yeah.
this was like a cusp year for me, although I was already kind of listening to Anthrax a bit. So, but I went full in.
Some others from 87 that I considered were a Depeche Mode song, the Eurythmic song,
Yeah.
and Simon F. I don't know if you had known Simon F., but Steve Stevens from Billy Idol,
Yes.
guitarist, was his guitarist as well. Simon F.
Oh, and I love Steve Stevens.
Yeah.
He's great. He's a great player. Awesome. Well, this was an awesome lineup. Great playlist, everybody.
Yes, go listen to it.
One more piece of business to take care of before the
Right.
show ends. Amanda, what time is it?
It is time to spin the wheel of show themes.
All right. It is that time to pick next week's show theme from which we will pick our
boy.
songs against.
Oh
So,
boy,
lots of great stuff on this wheel, by the way. Just seeing it spin around.
fully
here.
loaded.
Spinning around. So, all right, let's spin the wheel and see what we are working with next week. What do we got?
We can only guess.
Hopefully, it's not one we've done already. If not, we'll spin it again.
I've got a couple in mind already. Oh, wow.
Amanda, what is next week's show theme?
Songs about a stalker or stalkers. I mean,
Stalkers.
someone may have more. Oh my. That is an insanely wonderful suggestion because there are songs.
Oh, yes. There are songs. There are plenty of stalker songs.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be so fun.
Songs about a stalker, ladies and gentlemen. That is next week's show theme. So get your picks ready to go.
Oh, Ian coming in with songs by Police are banned. I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. No, once again, it's songs that we don't think the others heard before.
Yeah, so Ian, I think it's safe to say that while we won't ban it, we probably won't have it on our list. Well, I won't have it on mine. I can at least speak for myself.
So we will be deep diving and looking for songs about stalkers, about a stalker, stalkers, whatever, along
This
those
is the
lines.
beauty of the wheel. Because
beauty of the
really,
I would never choose that willingly, but
No,
it's on,
or-
but it's also on the wheel. So one of us made the suggestion, or it came from
Or
the peanut
from the
gallery.
community.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's-
Sadly, I won't be here next time. I got physical therapy after the car wreck. So,
Yeah.
I know you will catch up and have plenty of suggestions for us going into the show, as
I'm
you
sure
always
you will.
do.
Yeah, you always
And
do.
you'll always give us some thoughts afterwards, which
Yep.
is so fun. And we encourage everyone else to do that. We love hearing your guys' suggestions. We love getting the feedback. So comment away. We love it.
Absolutely, 100%. Please let us know. We will post this in Facebook and in our Facebook group. So let us know your song picks for next week's episode, which is songs about stalkers.
Oh.
There you go. There you go. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Really appreciate you all who hung out with us live today. You guys are amazing. I saw Alex check in, Ian, and even though Dave was here, he was also checking in online. So thank you.
Amazing.
And
So
anybody
talented.
else who was watching us live, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell so that way you get notified every time we go live or drop new videos right here on YouTube if you're watching us on YouTube. Also, if you're listening on any of the audio feeds, make sure you hit that follow button as well so that way you get notified when we drop new episodes of the show. And head over to our Patreon account once again. If you like what we're doing here, you want more of this, we put things over there that maybe we can't put on YouTube, or we just drop things early there, or it's literally just Patreon only content. You can join for as little as $1 and try it out for free for 7 days. Dave is in there, Ian's in there, so you get to interact with the VP of the VIPs and Ian from Australia as well. So join us over there on Patreon, and of course you can always join our Facebook group for free. That is it. That wraps it up. Dave, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
on
so
today,
much,
buddy.
Dave.
Really appreciate you. Great seeing you. Thanks for your song picks, man. They were great.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
I'm glad you had fun. Man. Thanks for coming. Amanda, any final words? That girl, what's the final word?
Just thank you to the champion of the show, Mr. Dave Mattingly, for joining us. It's been such a pleasure. We adore you.
All right, everyone.
Oh, shucks.
See you live next week right here on Song Swap Showdown. Cheers. To get notified every single time we drop a new episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown, just hit that follow button wherever you get your podcasts. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, please use the email address in our show notes and we'll get right back to you. And last but not least, please feel free to follow us over on our social accounts on Instagram and TikTok at Song Swap Showdown, or join our ever-growing community in our Facebook group by using the link in our show notes. Thanks for listening.